tools, and we get caught up on these projects and trying to improve. And we often miss some of the most important part, and that's the most valuable asset the company has is its people. And you saw that a lot this morning when he started talking about how are you as a person going to be better. The Toyota company is focused on not only improving their systems, but improving their people as they work there and getting better and better. And I think it was raised this morning, there's a lot of fear in implementing lean. Sometimes that can get in the way of our success, cause us to stall. And that's something we see. There's an unfortunate, the name lean can have some unfortunate connotations, such as we're coming in to lean the workforce. That's not what we're trying to do, right? So there's some people in implementing lean, their fear is, am I going to lose my job? And I think when you start down that journey, you have to make sure that it's understood. You know, we're not here to reduce workforce. We're trying to get better, productively, quality-wise, and to satisfy our customers. And that's the whole goal of lean. It's not to come in and beat up the workforce. One of the topics in this morning's talk was no fear of failure. And there's lots of people in our traditional companies where if you get accused of failure, it will be a stone around your neck and follow you around. And so you have to have this great experimentation process and implementing things. And as you go on your lean journey, you come in and you get these quick, low-hanging fruits, and then you get to a point where you can solve. There's also another problem in implementing lean through a journey is there's turnover in a corporation. If there's high turnover, then you can lose a lot of your inertia moving forward together. You have to constantly go in and reiterate and re-emphasize and reinforce where you want it to go. And part of that is having a great plan for implementing lean. We start with value stream mapping to put together a plan for you to start implementing. So what are some obstacles that y'all are seeing as a company in implementing lean? When you get to solve, what are some of the things that you see? What are some of the failures that you may have had, or what are the obstacles you're seeing in sustaining?
One of the biggest issues I've seen with implementing lean is not a full understanding of what lean is, like you mentioned. But you have people that want to be able to change, not understanding what that change really does. Just change for the sake of change instead of productive change. So that's been a real obstacle that I think needs to be realized by people with implementing lean is having to come to purpose behind the change.
So you have to manage change.
I had one point I wanted to bring up, a little different, but I wanted to comment about what Ty was talking about. I think those companies who are really best positioned to do lean because of this issue of people being concerned about losing their job are those companies who have a growth focus. And so, because if you do have a growth focus, then really all you're doing is freeing up assets to help the company grow, and there's a lot more comfort with people engaging in the process. So I just wanted to kind of make that comment. You know, one of the topics that we've talked about in our center over the years as we were doing lean, and if you look at the data, it kind of blows my mind, and I don't know that I believe it, but a large percentage of the companies that when we go in and do lean, think about lean. Lean is a set of really powerful tools that are really important to moving your organization towards operational excellence. And within that, there needs to be an internal process and continuous improvement focus that creates discipline and kind of aligns the organization. And I wanted to ask you all how you feel about that and what you have done in your company to kind of create the cement. In other words, build this internal process. And do you think that's been an important element in your success?
Well, I can speak to that topic as well. I think some of the cement is people, right? It's the teamwork and continuous improvement on the people side. I think that's if there weren't any employees in the company, there wouldn't be a company. And having the proper goals and working on teamwork, the ability to implement and to add value is great. And I think it's important to when you look at some of these lean tools that we look at sometimes the individual or the employee has been beat up in their organization, and they already have a tough job. They're going out and fighting fires. It's tough to work with these other continuous improvement projects, or maybe we don't even have the capital or resources to even invest in some of these processes. But it's important to see lean as an improvement. Your job's going to get better, and I think when you go in and you improve a particular process and you reduce scrap and you reduce transportation, and people see that, hey, my job got this. It's important to put that forward as, hey, this is not something you should be resisting or even fearing. We're going to get better, and you're going to have a better job. There's three or a couple of different ways of looking at managing people. You have to manage people to make sure they're productive. You have to always micromanage them. And then there's a train of thought that says happy people are productive people, right? And then there's the train of thought productive people are happy people. And which one of those do you think is lean oriented? So, it's that last one, right? So that's what when we're coming in and doing lean, you run into the fear of implementing it. And that fear persists if they don't see the immediate change or commitment from the top CEOs, and then even there's some change at the top. Maybe that's the reason why this is stalled. We've recommitted in other directions.
I have a question for Dan. You mentioned 50% of according to the numbers, of the programs that started some lean activities failed. That's significant. So, and you'd asked about cement. So could you elaborate on where you think the cement is lacking? And is it a tools thing, or is it something else that has to be there first, the chicken and egg?
Well, it's a combination of things. There's not really one thing, and we're kind of getting into solutions at this point, but you can go in and train people on lean, you can work with them on a project, but if the company there's some companies here who have gone on that journey, been on that journey for 10 years, it's a combination of things. You really have to have upper management support. You really need, I'm talking about the personnel and the people involved. It's really great if you have some internal champions, some people who really took to this stuff and become passionate about it, because they drive the energy and excitement and actually get the ball rolling. And as the company has success on projects, it tends to snowball and everybody gets involved. And I think that's where the fun in the organization starts, especially but it's also really important to have metrics and a visible which is part of lean, visible results and things so people can really see the progress, and that helps get buy-in. I know in my personal experience over in doing different things, I've had people who were totally resistant when we started a process and tried to do something, fought it tooth and nail, and then after we started down that journey and started to generate success, they become one of the most vocal people in favor of it, supported it. And so there is a culture change in the organization as you get success. You also have to have internal processes. There's got to be discipline, and it's not a short-term thing. It becomes part of your daily life, and you're going to be doing it this year or next year or for the next 20 years. You're going to be continuous, so it's continuous improvement. And so that there's work there, there's a lot of work, there's dedication, discipline, but it's not one factor that's an issue. It's a multiplicity of things, and they all need to come together. And where they do come together, it's amazing. It really is. I'll answer your questions.
I think it was a question. Still looking for that cement. Still looking for
Look at the cement, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, okay, right.
I work for Autism, and we talked about the question of cement. We have a success with thousands of suppliers that work on the buying side and also on the employee side. What I see is the issue is we go through all these manufacturers and we see, huge differences in efficiency from one manufacturer to the other. Yet when you sit down and tell them, they don't, a lot of manufacturers, listen, it's been doing this way for a long time, everything's going great, and what they don't realize is 2 months later, their purchaser pulled, the business shifts, and then they're left, wondering which way to go. And so I think one of the issues that cement is involved is lack of understanding of their competition and how far ahead they might be from where they're at today. And that also drives to something I heard earlier, I thought was very important, setting good goals, setting those stretch goals, because I think people don't have a good respect for who their competitors are in the industry. And so we just had it's been interesting for me to have a manufacturer. I started in manufacturing and doing it in retail, so I get to see the same type of manufacturing across multiple suppliers, and it's amazing to see one at such different levels, and they really don't even know how far off they are until it's too late. So I think that's a key that will really help the cement on the wood side.
Yeah, your experience is great, and that's what we see. We get to go into a lot of different businesses, and it's tough to convince people that, hey, you've got a problem. It's like, no problem's the problem, right? And but you get to see it. And one of the things when I'm starting to work with a client is I like to tell them, please go benchmark, go visit Toyota, go visit this company, go visit Hytron, go visit. And that's one thing that's great today is, the participants today, you get to go and see the company that's had some great successes and whatnot. And so
Putting those requirements on for completion. In past life, I do see organizations I work with where they're sustaining, so they're not even 50% of the time, but they're sustaining those programs, so they have robust processes, and then they're allowing the time for the employees to go out and be really control their processes and put things in place and improve those processes.
To answer your question,